Hello there guys and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Premier League match preview by myself as Chelsea are to take on Fulham away from home, with the kickoff being tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 p.m. UK time. And we're back. We had a little FA Cup holiday break, whatever you want to call it, when we didn't have to worry about the league and our form quite as much. But we're back now, and it's time to get back to winning ways in the Premier League, and everything but a win. And Frank Lampard's job could be under serious threat from the board. Let me quickly shout out our sponsors of today's video. Get Football Manager 21 with a discount of 10% if you use the code BluesFansTV after clicking the link in the description. And if you want to order any football gear, especially any of the Chelsea kits, make sure you use the other link down in the description below and use our promo code BALLER for a discount at checkout. And of course, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV. That'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe, like I said, help us reach 120,000 subscribers, because we will be doing a giveaway for 120,000 subscribers on our Twitter. Of course, the link to it is down in the description as well, tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. UK time. So be sure to check that out and be sure to get involved in that. And yeah, subscribe, like I said, smash the like button if you do enjoy our content, if you're excited for the game tomorrow. And if you haven't already, also don't forget to check out my personal channel, to which the link is also down in the description, or if you click the I button up there, I do in-depth analysis of every single Chelsea game the day after every single Chelsea game. It's super interactive. I get you guys' thoughts involved, I get you guys' opinions involved, and we have guests on as well, so we have super sick discussions. And like I said, I think you're gonna enjoy it, so be sure to check that out, be sure to subscribe. But enough of that now, let's get into the video. And of course, as usual, starting it off with the team news that Frank Lampard provided in his pre-match press conference. And thankfully, the boss actually confirmed that we currently have every single player fit and ready to play. Even N'golo Kante has returned to training today following a minor hamstring issue, but will miss the game against Fulham tomorrow anyway due to 5 yellow cards. He's suspended. Other than that, Lampard actually spoke quite interestingly on a couple of things, especially about having 2 weeks off, or 2 weeks of very good training, because we didn't have a midweek game. And I'm saying this was the first time all season really that we've actually been able to work on things like the pressing and other tactical intricacies in training, because other than for the international breaks, and obviously there's not enough players around to work on anything really, we've had a game every 3 days, every single time, maybe one exception just before Christmas. So, that must have been good, and I really, really hope, we're going to see that, because if you're going to pick it up like that, Frank, we better see it on the pitch tomorrow. We need this win. And Fulham are no mugs. Fulham are no mugs, so, we need to be on it. But with that said, let's get into my predicted 11 and the team I would pick myself. And starting with the latter, of course, on this side of the screen, I would personally go with Edouard Mendy in goal. One decent game and a clean sheet isn't enough for Kepa to come back in my opinion. As for the centre-backs, we of course should go back to Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma. Ben Chilwell should be absolutely fine to play at left-back, and at right-back, assuming that he is fit enough to start after being in training for the, in full training all week, Reece James. He should start a right back. Of course, if he's not fit to start, obviously just go with Azpilicueta, but I do expect Reece James to be fit and do be able to start. In terms of formation, I'll stick with the 4-3-3 again and just hope that we implement certain things about it better than we have done recently, rather than changing the formation. I just think that's the smarter thing to do, if that makes sense. The biggest question mark, I guess, is the DM position with Kante being suspended, and it's either Billy Gilmour or Jorginho. Now, personally, I think I would pick Billy Gilmour. I think them two, at this moment in time, give us about as much as each other if you consider everything. Of course, they both have their pros and cons, but I think if you consider everything, they give us about as much. And when that is the case, I'll always pick the younger player who has a lot more room for development and improvement for seasons to come, rather than the older one of the two. So that's why I personally pick Billy Gilmour. As for the two number 8s, obviously Mason Mount starts again as the left centre midfielder, but for me, Kai Havertz has to stay in the team as well. I know he played against Morecambe, and I know he missed a couple of games before that, just not because of injury or anything, just didn't, start the game. And yeah, I know it was only Morecambe, but that game still gave me confidence in him, more confidence in him. I mean, he was much further advanced on the pitch, which is what I've been craving for, what all of us, I think, have been craving for. But what I keep saying is, he doesn't need to play as a number 10 to be further advanced, as was clearly seen against Morecambe. Yes, it was only Morecambe, but that's possible against pretty much anybody. Even getting into the box, obviously, to score a header. So I want to see more of that. I want to see that again. And I want to see Kai be the significantly more attacking of the two number 8s, while Mason Mount remains a little bit deeper and, just helps with the build-up a little bit more, while Kai is more in and around the final third. In terms of the front three, though, it's a tough one, honestly. But I said it last week already, and I'll stick by it. Callum Hudson-Odoi absolutely has to start tomorrow against Fulham. He absolutely has to. The question is just, who is going to be the other winger? Christian Pulisic or Hakim Ziyech? And personally, I think I would go for Hakim Ziyech and leave Christian Pulisic out. Not because Pulisic has done anything wrong, even though his end product hasn't been quite there since returning from injury. Ziyech is the one player that is really capable of opening up deep defences, like Fulham's, quite likely at least, will be. And then I guess against Leicester on Tuesday, somewhat depending on tomorrow's performance, I reckon then go for Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi while giving Ziyech a little rest. Unless, Ziyech plays so much better than Hudson-Odoi that you should probably go for Pulisic and Ziyech. But, I think that's what we should be doing tomorrow. Hudson-Odoi on the left, Hakim Ziyech on the right. And then up front, I'm really struggling to decide between Tammy Abraham and Olivier Giroud, to be honest. Like, Timo Werner is a no from me for this one. And similar to the Jorginho and Billy Gilmore situation, I think Tammy and Oli are about equally as good and useful to us at the moment. So I'll pick the younger of the two and go for Tammy Abraham. That is my, team that I would go for, like I said, on this side of the screen, of course. And now coming to my predicted 11 on this side of the screen, it wasn't quite as difficult as the Morecambe one to predict, but, we'll see whether I'm right or wrong. The back five, I think, will be the exact same of Kepa, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, Ben Chilwell and Reece James, unless Reece isn't fit, and then, of course, Azpilicueta. And I also believe that Frank will stick to the 4-3-3, but I actually think he will pick Jorginho over Billy Gilmore. I could be wrong here, but I just have a little bit of a gut feeling that he will do that. But I do think he will stick to Mason Mount and Kai Havertz as the two number 8. While in terms of the front three, I actually think Frank will do the absolutely unthinkable and actually leave Hudson-Odoi out. I just feel like he will. Hopefully he won't, right? Hopefully he won't. But I feel like he will, while starting Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech instead of him. And if we don't win, even some of his most loyal supporters, including myself, will be on the fences and will be fuming at him. You have to start Hudson-Odoi. I mean, 2 years ago on the Atari, it was a different situation. He was very young, but he's getting there now. He's currently, by quite clearly, our best winger in terms of form. You just have to start him in these games now. Don't just give him these cup games all the bloody time. And then he's our best player in all of them. And then you don't play him in these Premier League games. We need wins, and he's our most informed attacker right now. So bloody play him. Bloody play him, Frank, please. Like I said, Hudson-Odoi just deserves to start. But up front, I even believe he'll start Timo Werner. And I think Timo Werner will be awful. I don't think it will work at all against Fulham. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about at least one of those two statements. Either that, Frank doesn't start him, or that if he does, Timo plays really well and scores. And I really, really hope. I mean, ideally, the latter, obviously, because, we signed him, so I want him to do well. But, maybe just not starting him is the better idea. But as for the game itself, like I said already in the beginning, the main thing is to win. I almost don't really care how. Of course, an incredible performance and a really good win would be great. But more in terms of making us more confident ahead of the Leicester game and ahead of more difficult opponents, right? If you look at tomorrow's game just by itself, all that matters are the 3 points. It doesn't really matter how we get there. At the moment, it's just we need wins. But I do want us to be aggressive. I want us to press more and better than we have done for a while now. And I hope those 2 weeks without a midweek game have helped that and, helped us improve at that. I want the passing to be quick. I want the forwards to be interchanging positions at times. And I want our attacker to have some variation to it. Because crossing is a good method of attacking. Don't down crossing just because we do it too much. But it's not great if it's your only method of attacking. We need to, put some variation in there. So like I said, let's mix it up. Then be clinical when we do create chances. And we'll have to be clinical because, like we saw in that game against Spurs in midweek, Fulham are not as bad as the table might suggest they are. They really are not. And I guess that brings me on to Scott Parker's team, of course, Fulham. And they might only be in 18th and only have 2 wins all season. And even only scored 14 goals, which is the 4th lowest in the league. But they've taken points of a lot of big teams this season. They drew a midweek against Spurs, like I touched on already. Another 1-1 draw against Liverpool not long ago. 0-0 against Southampton. And then they even beat Leicester. That's not something to just ignore. They're not that bad, especially, I guess, against the good teams. And as you can see on screen now, they don't really lose much these days. They haven't since December 5th against Manchester City. So if you think tomorrow will be easy for Chelsea, you're quite frankly deluded. It's as simple as that. They more often than not play a 3-5-2 system, 3-4-1-2 system, although at times also a 4-2-3-1. So let's see what they go with tomorrow. And recently, they've actually gone a little bit away from just sitting deep and defending, but trying to keep the ball more and playing proper football. And they've had, close to, 50% possession against all of their opponents. So, not bad, but, let's see whether they'll actually also do that against Chelsea. Because Tottenham is a very different story to Chelsea. I mean, Tottenham try to sit back themselves. Just some opponents do that more than they do. So then they kind of have to keep the ball. What is most certainly a bit of an advantage to us is that some of their best players in Tom Cairney, Mario Lemina are injured. While Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who was brilliant against Tottenham, of course, the Chelsea loanee, is obviously ineligible to play against his parent club. So they're missing three very big players. But Alexander Mitrovic, who of course we all know about, very potent striker, might return from injury. Although it is unsure whether he'll be able to start or not, but he might be involved and come from the bench, I guess. What is for certain, though, is that it will be a very difficult game. It 100% will be a very difficult game. They're unbeaten in 5 Premier League games, and Chelsea haven't exactly been in great form now, have we? So let's hope we made good use of those 2 weeks training. And, let's hope that we'll see quite a bit of an improvement in our performances. We need it. We really, really do. Whether we will or not, whether we will see those improvements, I don't know. But I do believe that we will manage to pick up the 3 points and get the win at Craven Cottage. I'm predicting a more comfortable win than people are expecting, and I'm predicting a 3-0 win for Frank Lampard's Tricky Blues. And I really, really hope I'm correct in saying that. I really, really am. But to be honest, guys, that has kind of been it from me. So if you haven't already, like I said in the beginning already, please be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV. Get involved with that giveaway over on Twitter tomorrow afternoon. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you're excited for the game tomorrow. And don't forget to check out my personal channel. Like I said, link is down in the description or up there if you click the I button. In-depth analysis of every single Chelsea game, the day after every single Chelsea game, usually with guests these days. So it's very interactive, get you involved, so be sure to check that out. I'm pretty sure you would enjoy it. And just lastly, let me shout out our sponsors one more time. Get Football Manager 21 with a discount of 10% and use the code BluesFansTV after clicking the link down in the description. If you want to order any of the new Chelsea kits, any football merch, full stop really, make sure you use the other link down in the description and use our promo code BALLER for a discount at checkout. But to be honest, guys, that has really been it from me. Thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate every single one of you. Can't speak today. Every single one of you that has tuned in. Excited for the game tomorrow. A little bit nervous, but let's just hope we get the dub up to Chelsea. And I'll see you when I see you.